That's exactly what happened with Vivica A. Fox, 50 Cent, and Diddy. Their story wasn't just about a relationship, it became a headline-making saga that lasted over 20 years, full of speculation, public breakups, cryptic messages, and alleged controversies. It all began when 50 Cent and Vivica Fox first crossed paths at the Soul Train Music Awards. At that time, 50 Cent was rising rapidly, dominating the music scene with his album Get Rich or Die Trying. Vivica Fox was already a well-known actress with major roles under her belt. Their chemistry was instant and noticeable. Cameras loved them, the public loved them, and for a moment it seemed like a Hollywood romance in the truest sense. From the very beginning, 50 Cent showed Vivica extreme generosity. On her birthday, he sent van loads of her favorite flowers, filling her house repeatedly with bouquets. She described it as overwhelming but heartfelt, and it showed the kind of attention and care he brought into the relationship. At that time, his public persona as Curtis Jackson, the rising rap star, clashed with his personal side, which was gentle and thoughtful towards her. But the love story quickly became complicated because of fame and public exposure. They went public with their relationship too fast, and that attention came with pressure from fans, media, and even people in their inner circle. Vivica later said that if they had stayed private longer, things might have gone differently. The relationship wasn't without its significant milestones. 50 Cent reportedly planned to propose to Vivica with a 14-carat diamond ring. She remembered it as extravagant, fitting for someone of his status. However, their relationship started to break down before that proposal could happen. Their breakup was not a private affair. Vivica found out on the radio that their relationship was over. One of her friends called her to tell her that 50 Cent had announced it publicly, leaving her shocked and hurt. That public announcement set the tone for the kind of drama that would follow in the years to come. Years passed, and their story continued to linger in the public eye. Vivica Fox appeared in one of 50 Cent's music videos, playing a character involved in betrayal. This blurred the lines between reality and performance, reigniting speculation about their past. Interviews over the years added more layers. In 2015, Vivica made comments in an interview hinting at aspects of 50 Cent's personal life, which created headlines and more discussion online. Though nothing was proven, the speculation only grew stronger. Social media turned minor remarks into viral conversations. Every move, every post, every cryptic comment became fuel for fans and media alike. Then came the twist that reignited the conversation. Vivica Fox posted a cryptic message suggesting the existence of a tape involving both 50 Cent and Diddy. She didn't provide proof, and no court filings confirmed the existence of such a tape. Despite that, the internet went into a frenzy. Screenshots spread, fan theories exploded, and forums debated the possible truth behind her message. 50 Cent responded publicly, reportedly calling the situation desperate. His reaction added fuel to the fire. Diddy, on the other hand, remained silent. In Hollywood, silence can speak volumes, but it can also mean nothing at all. Public reactions split immediately. Some defended Vivica, saying she might be exposing deeper secrets, while others criticized her for dredging up old drama. What makes this story so fascinating is the way fame, love, and unresolved emotions collide. Vivica admitted that 50 Cent was the love of her life. She had believed a proposal was coming and carried emotional investment for years. When pride, reputation, and unfinished business mix together, it creates tension that does not fade quietly. The alleged tape, whether real or not, served as a spark, reigniting unresolved issues and emotions. The public's fascination lies in watching these powerful figures navigate the consequences of past relationships. Even the early years of their romance had unusual moments that added to the story's complexity. For instance, 50 Cent had a habit of announcing decisions on the radio rather than in private. He publicly revealed breakups, dismissed artists from his label, and shared personal opinions in ways that shocked those around him. This approach created confusion and hurt, but it was part of his public persona as Curtis Jackson, the rising rap star, and was the way he controlled his narrative. Vivica, in her own way, responded through interviews, public appearances, and her social media presence. Over time, both seemed to reconcile publicly, attending events together and showing smiles for cameras. Yet underneath the appearances, questions remained, fueled by every cryptic post, comment, or story that resurfaced. Adding more tension to the mix were rumors surrounding Diddy. Allegations, scandals, and videos from past incidents emerged over time, though many remained unproven. Rumors about his involvement in illegal activities, his personal life, and even his sexuality circulated widely. Again, much of this was speculative and never proven in court. But the public fascination persisted, connecting dots between Vivica's posts, 50 Cent's responses, and Diddy's silence. Hollywood's history of power struggles and controversies only amplified the drama. This story highlights a unique aspect of fame and public relationships, the mixture of truth, speculation, and narrative. Fans and media alike love a story that spans decades, involves multiple famous personalities, and has unresolved questions. The alleged Diddy tape, for instance, might never be confirmed, yet it sparks discussions about loyalty, betrayal, and reputation. It forces audiences to reflect on human emotions, public personas, and the consequences of actions that happened years ago but continue to resonate. Social media has changed how these stories unfold. What once would have stayed private for decades now resurfaces instantly. Posts, comments, and viral screenshots can reignite debates that were thought to be over. In this case, Vivica's cryptic tweet about a tape triggered a cascade of reactions from fans, commentators, and other influencers. The story became trending topics. Podcasts dissected timelines, and bloggers speculated endlessly. Even decades-old interviews were reanalyzed to find hidden meanings. 50 Cent's response also reflects the complexities of fame. Publicly addressing speculation can sometimes escalate situations, yet silence can be interpreted as guilt or avoidance. His decision to respond publicly, calling the situation desperate, shows a strategic approach to controlling his narrative while also protecting his reputation. Meanwhile, Diddy's silence adds another layer of mystery. In Hollywood, what someone doesn't say can be as powerful as what they do say. The emotional layer is equally important. Vivica's admission that she considered 50 Cent the love of her life adds depth to the story. Emotions, heartbreak, and lingering feelings have a long shelf life, especially when combined with public attention. Unresolved romantic history, especially involving fame and wealth, doesn't fade quietly. It echoes through social media, interviews, and public appearances, keeping the story alive for decades. Even though there is no proof of a tape, the story illustrates how past relationships, celebrity culture, and media attention intertwine. From extravagant gestures like flowers and proposed rings to public breakups announced on the radio, every moment became part of a larger narrative. Fans and media dissect every detail, connecting it to speculation, rumors, and historical incidents. What might have been a private matter instead became a public saga that continues to spark debates. As the story continued to unfold, the public fascination only grew stronger. Every time Vivica Fox made a comment or shared a post, it seemed like old wounds were being reopened. Social media users, bloggers, and influencers picked apart every word, speculating on what might really have happened between her, 50 Cent, and Diddy. Even years after their relationship ended, people wanted answers. They debated whether her posts hinted at real events, personal grudges, or simply the pain of unresolved feelings. Fans also began revisiting old interviews, videos, and magazine covers, looking for clues or hidden meanings in statements that at first seemed innocent. In Hollywood, the past never stays buried, especially when fame is involved. One of the key moments that fueled this renewed attention was the allegation of a tape involving 50 Cent and Diddy. Vivica Fox's tweet suggested something shocking existed, but she never provided proof. Despite this, it immediately went viral. Social media users and gossip outlets began connecting dots between unrelated events. Allegations about Diddy's personal life, past controversies, and even old music video appearances were suddenly re-examined. The public loves mystery, and the possibility of a secret recording involving two major stars was enough to dominate conversation for weeks. Even without confirmation, the story had taken a life of its own. 50 Cent's reaction added even more intensity. He publicly called the situation desperate, which sent comment sections into meltdown. Fans took sides almost instantly. Some defended Vivica Fox, believing that she might be revealing something important about Hollywood secrets. Others criticized her for stirring old drama unnecessarily. Meanwhile, Diddy chose to stay silent. His silence only fueled speculation as people debated whether it was a strategic move or an indication of guilt. In Hollywood, staying quiet can be interpreted in multiple ways. Sometimes it is control, sometimes it is avoidance, and sometimes it's just not wanting to engage with media chaos. It's important to remember that the alleged tape was never confirmed by any legal authority. No court filings, police reports, or verified evidence surfaced to prove its existence. Everything around it was speculation, rumor, and public conjecture. Yet despite the lack of proof, the story had major consequences. It reminded everyone how celebrity relationships can become public property, where even personal history is treated like entertainment. Public reactions, memes, debates, and fan theories all contributed to the narrative growing far beyond what actually happened. The story also shows how fame changes the dynamics of relationships. Early in their romance, 50 Cent's public persona often clashed with his personal actions. He would make announcements on the radio instead of having private conversations, creating shockwaves in the lives of those involved. Vivica discovered their breakup on air, which illustrates how public exposure can distort private experiences. Even when relationships are over, the memories, gestures, and unresolved feelings remain in the public eye. Every post or interview has the power to reopen old stories. Vivica's reflections about the early years of their relationship add another layer of understanding. She recalled 50 Cent's generosity, thoughtfulness, and charm, which made their connection feel real and deep. Yet the rapid exposure of their relationship to the public created tension and stress. She often emphasized that going public too fast brought unwanted attention and pressure from people outside their inner circle. This is an important lesson about how fame can impact personal relationships. Even love that feels genuine can become complicated when thousands of people are watching, analyzing, and forming opinions. The role of social media in this story cannot be overstated. In the past, private disputes or breakups could remain private, limited to friends, family, or small circles of colleagues. Today, a single post, tweet, or cryptic comment can spread globally in minutes. Vivica's tweet about a tape went viral almost instantly, and within hours, discussions, debates, and fan theories were everywhere. Screenshots circulated, podcasts covered the story, and bloggers tried to piece together timelines from interviews that happened years ago. Social media magnifies everything, making even decades-old drama feel urgent and current. The speculation surrounding Diddy adds yet another dimension. Over the years, multiple allegations and controversies have swirled around him, ranging from personal life rumors to public incidents. Some incidents involved legal questions, videos, or reports, but many were never confirmed. Yet when combined with Vivica Fox's post, it created an explosive narrative that fans and the media couldn't ignore. The public began questioning motives, connections, and whether this was about revenge, closure, or just unresolved feelings. Hollywood thrives on mystery, and this story had all the ingredients for sustained attention: fame, unresolved romance, and the possibility of hidden secrets. Meanwhile, 50 Cent's responses to the renewed speculation revealed a mix of strategy and emotion. By publicly labeling the situation desperate, he controlled part of the narrative while also defending his reputation. His response caused a stir in social media communities and comment sections, with fans debating his tone, intent, and sincerity. Some believed he was protecting his privacy and image, while others thought he might have been reacting emotionally to a topic that stirred personal history. In either case, his reaction fueled the story further, keeping it relevant for weeks. The emotional angle of the story is critical. Vivica admitted that 50 Cent was the love of her life and that she expected a proposal. Emotional investment like that doesn't disappear overnight. It leaves lingering effects, especially when fame, public attention, and unresolved history are involved. When pride and unfinished business are mixed into personal relationships, the ripple effects can last decades. In this story, even after 20 years, a failed proposal, a public breakup, and unconfirmed rumors continue to capture attention. Fans are drawn to the emotional truth beneath the speculation, the heartbreak, the disappointment, and the public consequences. Another aspect of the story is how it reflects Hollywood's culture of power, secrecy, and narrative control. Public figures often have their histories scrutinized and analyzed, sometimes unfairly. Alleged rumors, cryptic messages, and resurfaced interviews are all used to shape perceptions. Even when nothing is legally confirmed, public interpretation can be relentless. This is why Vivica's post, though unproven, created such a media storm. Hollywood stories are rarely just about personal lives. They are also about how information is managed, who controls the narrative, and how history is remembered. As the story progressed, the fallout from Vivica Fox's post began to take on a life of its own. The media circus grew, fueled by speculation, screenshots, and commentary. Bloggers dissected timelines, comparing old interviews with recent statements, while podcasts replayed clips and debated motives. Every detail, no matter how small, became a talking point. People analyzed what Vivica said, why she said it, and whether her comments hinted at truth, revenge, or lingering emotions. Even the simplest phrase could be interpreted as a major revelation. In Hollywood, perception often outweighs reality, and this story was a perfect example. The public's fascination also highlighted how fame can magnify personal drama. 50 Cent, Vivica Fox, and Diddy are all well-known figures, and any interaction between them is subject to intense scrutiny. Fans dissected 50 Cent's reaction, speculating whether his labeling the situation as desperate was a calculated move or an emotional outburst. Meanwhile, Diddy's silence sparked its own discussions. In Hollywood, silence is rarely neutral. Fans and critics alike wondered, was he ignoring the speculation, planning a response, or trying to protect his reputation? The mystery surrounding his reaction only kept the story alive in the public eye. The narrative also emphasized how unresolved history can linger for years. Vivica Fox shared that 50 Cent had been the love of her life and that she had expected a proposal. Emotional investment like that does not fade quickly. When fame, public exposure, and unmet expectations mix, the echoes of the past can resurface decades later. Even after 20 years, a breakup announced on the radio, a rumored multi-million-dollar ring, and alleged controversial moments remain subjects of public conversation. Fans are drawn to the human side of these stories, the heartbreak, disappointment, and vulnerability that lie behind headlines. Social media played a critical role in amplifying the story. Platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube allowed fans to share, comment, and speculate in real time. A single cryptic post by Vivica Fox quickly turned into trending topics, screenshots, and endless discussion threads. Memes, reaction videos, and opinion posts spread rapidly, transforming private drama into public entertainment. The speed at which social media can escalate a situation is unprecedented, and in this case, it ensured that the story remained at the center of attention for weeks. This story also highlighted how celebrity relationships are never purely personal. They are public property. Every word, action, or past event can be scrutinized, dissected, and interpreted in multiple ways. The alleged tape, though never confirmed, became a symbol of intrigue and speculation. It didn't matter whether it existed. What mattered was the perception that something might exist. This perception drove conversation, engagement, and media coverage. In Hollywood, rumors often have as much power as verified facts. The situation illustrated the pressures that fame places on personal relationships. Vivica Fox noted that going public too quickly with 50 Cent brought unwanted attention and pressure from outsiders. When relationships are in the public eye, every gesture, comment, or misstep can become a headline. A private disagreement can turn into a trending story overnight. Even when the parties involved try to move on, past events can resurface unexpectedly, causing renewed public scrutiny. This is why Vivica's tweet, though cryptic, had such a powerful impact. It reopened a chapter many thought was closed. The story also reflected on the long-term effects of fame and unresolved emotions. Emotional investment, unmet expectations, and public exposure can leave lasting impacts. Vivica's reflections about her relationship with 50 Cent highlighted how real love can coexist with public drama. Even years later, memories of generosity, romance, and heartbreak remain significant, especially when the relationship ended abruptly and publicly. For fans, this adds depth to the story. It is not just gossip, it is a glimpse into the human experiences behind fame, wealth, and celebrity. Moreover, the allegations and public commentary brought attention to the broader culture of secrecy and narrative control in Hollywood. Stories, rumors, and speculation often mix with facts, creating complex layers that fans and media try to unravel. Vivica's post was a catalyst, but the story's longevity depended on how audiences, media outlets, and the stars themselves responded. In many ways, this demonstrates how fame turns personal experiences into public narratives. Hollywood stories are rarely straightforward. They involve perception, power, and influence just as much as they involve truth. 50 Cent's responses revealed a careful balance of strategy and emotion. By publicly labeling the situation as desperate, he defended his reputation while also controlling part of the narrative. Fans debated his tone, intent, and sincerity. Was he reacting emotionally, or was he being strategic to protect his image? In either case, his statements contributed to keeping the story relevant. This shows that in Hollywood, reputation management is constant.